Hello, everybody. This is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. Come to do a live again tonight. Things to consider. I want to finish up where I left off the last time. You guys, I did this live concerning the crime scene where my son's Jeep Renegade 2017 Jeep Renegade was located by a rancher. Of course, the last time I was talking about it, I was going through some of the things I've seen based on the pictures that was given to me by the law enforcement, as well as going to the scene myself, being on the ground. You guys know I've been doing searches. So I want to talk about that tonight, and hope you guys could join in with me. I see everybody on the Instagram side. I want to say up front, I don't know how this bandwidth is really working tonight, so I'm having any issues with connectivity and the clarity of this video. I want to apologize up front. If something happened, if it so happened this video drops, I will come back on. I just want to tell you guys, I just want to get through some of the things that I've seen in this whole scenario of my son being missing. Also to debunk some of the things I felt that the Buckeye Police Department failed to look at, and also to examine, and also to follow up. And what I have seen in my own investigation, and also from what my investigator have found at the time at the scene, where we feel it's a stage event, and also that this information that we have here suggests foul play. So again, you guys, thanks so much for joining in with me. I'm Dave Robinson, father of geologist Dan Cornelius Robinson. See you on the other side. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Robinson again. I'm here to talk about things to consider when it comes to my son's Jeep Renegade that was found on July the 19th of 2021, almost 30 days after my son went missing on June the 23rd of 2021. As you guys know, for context, those who may just be listening in on this things to consider, my son, geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson, a geologist, while I was on his job, went missing on June the 23rd of 2021. The circumstance and the theory from surrounding that is the only person who was with my son out there in the Sonoran Desert, where they were to meet and work, said that my son waved off to him and got in his vehicle, drove off, where he was never seen again. What I'm at right now on this things considered, I will be talking about this again from every aspect, from the time I made the call to report my son missing. But I'm starting off with the crime scene. I have a reason why I want to start that way, and then kind of bet my way back, and then go forward, and then go jump to some other areas like that when it comes to my son's case. I also will be deep diving later on in a series of things to consider for you guys. I will be talking about I will pull apart the Buckeye Police Department report. I will match that up with things that I have on recordings, as well as from the Buckeye Police Department when I had conversation with them, as well as things that's on the ground, the details of activities, to give you guys the right context of what happened, and the reason why I love confidence in the Buckeye Police Department, and why I feel that things they have in the report is inaccurate, or I don't know if it's purposely or just falsified in the report. Also, to show you guys why the sensationalizing of my son's case was done by the Buckeye Police Department, where there's some irrelevant things in the report that has no context when it comes to my son's disappearance. I want to say again, you guys, I do see on the Instagram side, so I'm really pleased to look at on my screen here in front of me. Everything looking really mushy, but when I look at it from my cell phone, it looks really good. So I hope you guys can stay in with me on this. So I just want to jump right into it. So you guys, I want to get on right into everything I want to talk about. Of course, I want to give some context to you guys. Again, for those who may have just joined in, don't know about my son's case, like I said, I want to make sure I'm just giving some type of context, and I'm going to go over what I did the other following week, and then kind of roll myself into what I'm doing today. So again, I'm going to share a screen with you guys. We're going to start with the vehicle here, my son's vehicle that was found, like I said, on July the 19th of 2021. And this is the pictures to give you context. This is the pictures that the Buckeye Police Department have given to me. That came from the picture was given to me after I asked Chief Hall at the time in a meeting a few days. I think it was on the 22nd of July. I mean, yeah, July the 22nd, when I had this meeting with the Buckeye Police Department. And in that meeting, I had forced Chief Larry Hall at the time to give me all the pictures they have, everything they have. They said they had helicopter footage. They had this footage and everything, pictures they took from the whole scene that day when they was doing helicopter search. They claimed, and then they had the cadaver dogs, the search dogs, and all the stuff. They said, "Hey, look, I got all the pictures of everything we did." He told me he's giving it to me, put it on a flash drive, and what I ended up receiving was only drone footage, and it kind of was consistent with the story of the rancher who was out there in most of that day. He said there was no helicopters and there was no dogs. There was only one dog, 10 o'clock at night. The other dogs they told him was in training during that week, and so that's the reason why. And also, like I said, there was no helicopter, so it kind of could see. He said there was drone footage, and it was hindsight, you guys. When I started thinking about it, I didn't tell him, say what the police department have given me, right? So what they gave me and what he was saying in his testimony after, you guys, like I said, matched exactly what the Buckeye Police Department gave me. Only drone footage. He said that's the only thing they did. Later took said thousands of pictures on the ground. One of the officers came out and also that there was only drone. They did drone and footage, and that's exactly what he told me in the recorded also testimony that I have, you guys. I will share with you guys eventually, and it's consistent what the Buckeye Police Department gave me at the time, which is only the pictures of drone footage, and that's what it is here. I'll show you drone footage shortly, but this is from the ground footage that he was saying that was out there from a female officer who took these pictures. Excuse me. And we'll start off here. This picture here, you guys, of what I have been mentioning last time is that what I've seen when I've seen these pictures, I've had a different picture. Of course, there's one that Detective Biffin gave me on the roof of his trunk is on the roof of his not roof, but the front end of his vehicle, his truck, his pickup truck. And it is one picture he gave me. I gave it out to the public. I put it in the news and things like that so the public could see. But this is the better pictures. Like I said, came from on the 22nd of that meeting that I had. They put on the flash drive a couple days after that, and then giving it to me. And you see it right here. What I've seen from a family's point of view, I kind of put my sons after I heard the details of what the Buckeye Police Department Detective Biffin told me about the vehicle rolling and twisting and flipping and this and that and all the stuff he had to say about it, and that my son somehow magically didn't receive any injuries or anything of a sort, right? But at the same time said he has a brain injury, so he was contradicting himself. So he had a brain injury. He kicked his way out of the sunroof. That's why the glass was on the ground. And because of the head injury, it causes him to be hot, and that kind of manner. It causes him to be hot, and he shredded his clothes. That's why his pointing is, through the picture, is showing me this is why his clothes are 3 feet away from the vehicle. The pictures look flat, like the ground is flat, but it's really a 20-foot ravine. I can't verify that it is. It's a 20-foot ravine that's going straight downhill, and that's the bottom where the vehicle's sitting is at the bottom of that deep hill. And also it's deep on both sides, you guys. And excuse me. And I mean, it was high on both sides, kind of like come down at like a V. And so he kind of explained that to me. But like I said, when I looked at these pictures, when I received these, especially, I seen something different. I seen a crime. I seen a person's clothes, and I can look at that, stand outside, and say, "Hey, this hyper," doing my own investigation. I had to look at it from outside a different view, not just saying, "Hey, this is my son," so I won't be really biased. Of course, I'd be some bias. He's my son, of course. But the other part is I had to look at it from an objective standpoint. And I looked at it from the point of that being a police cruiser. And I just didn't understand what I have seen at first is the markers that would be at a crime scene, the markers that would be in the scene, anything that looks suspicious, like Chief Hall was saying in the CNN report that I will show you guys eventually as well. Highly suspicious, right? From some to the effects of the words that he used in that interview, but yet you don't see anything that will say, "Hey, look, we need to do some detailed pictures here. We need to do some forensics. We need to do certain things just in case it turned out to be a criminal type deal. We have some type of information and evidence, right?" But of course, I have a recording, you guys, of myself talking to Detective Biffin as well, where he describing to me before this meeting why he saw the scene as not being a crime scene, and he said it worth even doing any type of thing forensic wise that I asked about on the scene. He don't see any problem with what he saw, despite of the fact that he felt that Daniel had a severe brain injury. He popped out his vehicle, shredded his clothes off because he was hot and he got probably eaten by a wild animal. They didn't want to take the time to look into that to see if a wild animal got him, right. Only thing I heard was there was no tracks, no footprints away from the vehicle. There was nothing coming away from the vehicle. Say he walked off or that kind of stuff. No dogs tracked in things. What he told me at the time. But at the same time, he had also another theory that he just did all of this and mastermind this whole situation, join the monastery and become a monk is what I got out of what he told me. So became a monk and joined a monastery. And that's the kind of thing I got from this thing. So I'm keep going, you guys, on these pictures here and show you what I'm saying on the scene. If you guys look at this pictures from different angles, you can see from here going down south. This is a north. This is north here going back south. It's consistent with what the rancher told me at the time. The rancher told me, "Hey, look, in that interview I had with him in my investigation, he's the only person who can corroborate this whole scene. He's the person who testified saying, "Hey, look, this vehicle wasn't here 2 days before. I was here on the 17th, and it came back on the 19th, and there it is. His cattle, they come down this ravine, according to the rancher. And if you guys, I should have put a map up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If it goes south. This is going deep down south towards a corral that is." Not too far, you guys. If you're gonna put I always like to put it in city block terms. 'Cause I'm a city guy. It probably could be a half a block away. From me not being lacking to give you the exact distance. But it's a corral area there, and it's south of this where this vehicle was found. His cattle come down through here to get to those corrals. That's where they feed them, and also he has a meat company, so I'm sure take some of those cattle off to process them. Um, but the fact is, his thing understanding was his cattle didn't come through. He didn't see them come through the first time. He's a great tracker. He's a fourth generation cattle rancher. This is his land, and he been out here all his life. From childhood. So he knows everything about this desert. Also, he pointed out that the cattle when they came down, if this vehicle was here, they would have been hanging around this area. They've been messing with his clothing. They kept a bit longhorn cattle. You guys, you ought to see these guys. I've seen them out there a lot, but they would have been digging the clothes, and especially I'm gonna go a little further here so you guys can see, and I'm gonna come back. Especially when you get to this part of the vehicle, and I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna back up, you guys, but right here, case of water. That right there would have attracted those cattle. The cattle, of course, they animals. They're out there in the desert. I've seen a dead cattle out there that couldn't survive because of the extreme heat that's out there. And sadly to say, but it's the desert. A lot of them survive. Of course, they survive. They find ways to cool off and things like that. But that's the desert. And they see that water sitting there. He said they would have tore that vehicle apart trying to get to it. They would have been also licking the paint off the vehicle because of that would have been some type of salt on the vehicle from the dust from the desert dust and things like that. The other part that he noticed coming down, we say found this vehicle when he called law enforcement, is that the vehicle is very clean. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit back and forth, you guys, and talk about the scene. But one of the things he said was very clean. The vehicle exterior was clean. The tires, he said he thought it was very clean from his point of view because like I said, he's always out there. He knows about days. Man, a lot of things turn up out here in the desert. People steal cars to etc. And I can attest to that because I found the car for the Maricopa County Sheriff's a red pickup truck for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to solve one of their cases when they're trying to someone reported their vehicle stolen. So the thing is, again, the vehicle's too clean, especially if they say, "Hey, it's just rain and so on." That the Buckeye Police Department like to say, this vehicle's very clean for it had to gotten wet. You guys gotten wet, and then the dust from a storm and rain build up dirt and dust on the glass. The glass, he said, like the windows on the back was too clean to him. And I'm going through some pictures, guys, but I want to talk about it. If you look at this glass, very clean. There's no desert dust. You can see the reflection of the ground in this vehicle. It would have been dust. If you guys haven't been in those who live in Arizona, they have these desert storms. I found that out because it kind of reminded me of Afghanistan. They say my daughter one time I was in the hotel. She said, "Dad, you heard me get to the hotel." I don't know what you're talking about. The sky was looking kind of weird, and I thought I was like, that do look like the sky in Afghanistan. But they have these dust storms, and the dust storms. I mean, when it blow over, man, it's a bunch of dirt on things. My vehicle was covered with dirt. That was a little like uptight because I just washed the vehicle when I was in Phoenix. But I'm saying, even with you guys, this window is very clean. The vehicle is very clean. And also, like I said, this is the desert. You guys live in the city. You guys live in the country. You live in different places. Can you imagine a vehicle sitting out in dirt, lying on the side for over 30 days, almost 30 days? It would have been plumb dirty. What I want to show you guys, and the reason why I'm going through all of this is I look at things from a science standpoint. You guys look, Daniel, he's a geologist. He has a sister archaeologist, another one, marine biologist, his brother, a computer engineer. So we come from a family we think like that. We think on the science level. I'm not a perfect scientist. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is we think on things on a level. We look at it from common sense standpoint. If it don't make sense, God did give us that. He gave everybody a little common sense, and we're not going to fall for anything that was told of us. Hey, look at this, and this is what I say, believe, and that is it. So I look at this whole scene in a different way from the way law enforcement tried to portray it to me. The rancher, like I said it was too clean. He didn't see, his cattle didn't come through because they would have droppings all over the place. They would stop and been curious about it, like I said. It's a couple of things he saw that wasn't typical of a vehicle that's sitting there for 30 days. He said it wasn't there for 30 days. He said, I was there. I was there 2 days prior. It wasn't there. It's out of one thing that happened, like my investigator said, the accident happened somewhere else. And then maybe somebody put it there, right? That's exactly what had to end up happening. Maybe it was there at one point and they brought it back. I don't know. The whole bottom line, I said, you guys, the vehicle wasn't there for 30 days. And I did point out, you guys, the track that I've seen based on this hill here where the vehicle possibly came through. But I can tell you, it appears that something with a smaller wheelbase separation came down that hill and had to work his way back up. And I pointed that out to you guys last time. Okay, let's see here. Go back again. I want to get some little details right here for you guys that I seen. Okay, and again, you guys, another thing that I was pointing out, and I said this many times um, on the live streams, when I had the Q&As back in the day, um, is a couple things. When you look at the scene, I'll argue this all the time. Right up in here, you guys can see daylight all the way across to the other side. And one of the things that was pointed that was really, really common sense to me as well. I guess I got it based on just being out in the desert. A lot of people who've been in the desert with me can say the same thing. You guys has experienced that yourself. You saw it firsthand. A lot of volunteers would ask me, as we walking on flat ground and we see these little crevices and we see the little washes and ravines and things, and we see mounds of twigs. This stuff here, creosote type material. This stuff here breaks off. It's dry. Like I said, the desert is very dry. So all this stuff breaks off from time to time. You might see some on the ground, little shrubbies. But when it rains, if it's a significant rain, like the Buckeye Police Department says, a significant amount of rain would have been coming down here. Like I told you guys, it's down here from the north to the south. It would have been trying to come through this area right here where this creosote bush is stuck right there, because it fell right on top of it. And if you look at it from the other angle, like I said, let me see if I can get this picture oriented, right? See if you guys can look at here. Can you imagine this as like a drain and you put that bush there, it become like a strainer, right? And water would end up happening if water coming down there in a significant way, like the Buckeye Police Department wanted to say, and this vehicle had rain damage. I'm gonna prove this point to you guys too. You don't see much rain damage at all, no rain damage at all. Um, it would have strained and caught all of this debris. Put it from the other side. It would have caught this debris on that side, and you would not be able to see daylight under that vehicle. I'm trying to be careful because it's one part of this right here I do not want to go to you guys because I still have an investigation that I have to, uh, um, you know, keep intact. So some pictures, you guys, I'm trying to be careful not to go too far because sometimes I click, 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 click. But I want to get to a point that let me see here if I can go back here. All right. Well, I thought I had this picture here, but I think I had on another slide. But if you look at it from the other angle as well, you can see daylight under this vehicle. And, with that, like I said, you guys, you will see a lot of debris. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is point it out this way, you guys. I can point out the best way I can. All this right here would have been straining. It would have been built up of debris. Just make a long story. All that would have been here. That bush that's under there, like I said, straining that water would have caught everything coming down that ravine, coming down this way, coming and the water significantly, like the Buckeye Police Department want you guys to believe, it was a lot of significant rain, like they said. It would have just imagine the water getting stopped up like a dam. This vehicle become a dam and the water would not be able to get through there fast enough and start coming around the sides, it'd probably fill up to this point. There would have been some type of water ring going across here. If you had I want to put anybody in a bad thought, but some people who know about sitting in the bathtub and if you're dirty, you're going to have some type of a water ring, dirt ring or whatever you call it around the tub. So it would have been something similar to that, you guys. You know what I'm saying? This shoe, can you imagine a shoe that's still sitting up under that vehicle? We're gonna point out this to you guys how this panel. I'm gonna get to the panel shortly. The panel that's stuck up in the but all this I'm saying, you guys, would have been some type of strain. So I look at things from that. I'm like, that vehicle wasn't there for 30 days. This outside of my investigator, he had different ways to show it wasn't there for 30 days. Now some technical stuff when it deals with the information from the black box and et cetera, et cetera. That's his portion. What I'm saying in my investigation, my independent investigation, is the way I look at it from this point. I did learn from the Buckeye Police Department assessment of this at crime scene as well. Tell me that this glasses on the ground came from the sunroof. Is what Detective Biffin told me in that briefing. It came from the sun. They said that's why the glass is on the ground. I want to point out two things really quick. This is not enough enough glass to be the glass from this window. First of all, they don't match, like my investigator said. Those two different type glass. This is glass, and it could be a vehicle glass, but it's not the glass that came from here. It definitely didn't come from this right here. And I'm telling you the reason why, you guys. Jeep Renegade don't have any sunroof glass. At the time, I just didn't know that. So I listened to what the Buckeye Police Department told me, and I had to take it as he kicked his way out of the sunroof. That's why he kicked the glass out. And that's how the glass get over here. The other part is in this vehicle, if you take all the glasses, the fragments of glass that's right here around this rim that went inside the vehicle, it's not even a handful. If you can get them all together, as my investigator said, from his word of mouth, because it's not something I've seen personally, of course, because I haven't been in the vehicle. But he says it's not even a handful. So where does glass come from? He don't know, right? But it's not the glass that came from here, and it's definitely not the glass come from the sunroof. So Buckeye Police Department is wrong about even suggesting that this vehicle had a sunroof glass. It's not like a typical vehicle that have glass in for a sunroof. This is the panel that goes to this area here. Jeep Renegade has two panels, one in the front, one in the back. And I'm going to show you guys a real quick video of that. And I have to go to the video real quick so I can get this point that I'm trying to make, you guys. I'm going to play this video and I'm going to show you the video so you guys can understand. If you guys can hold on for a second and listen to that, I truly appreciate it.
Hi, my name's Paul. I'm one of the sales professionals here at Croton Auto Park. The weather's getting nice, so I'll show you how to take the top off of your Jeep Renegade. First, in the pouch in your trunk, you'll find a key. Using the key, you insert it in the front roof panel, and you turn it to undo the handle. Flip the handle back to unhook the roof panel. Step outside, and the panel lifts right off. Quick, easy, painless, and light. On the back panel, you do the same thing with the key to undo the latch, flip the handle, and again from the outside, you lift the roof panel right off. Nice. In the pouch where you found the key, you can store the roof panels for safekeeping and for easy access in case
Okay, that's the furthest I'm gonna go on that video, you guys, and because everything else is kind of irrelevant when it comes to the way you store it. But I had to show you guys this for a reason. So we're gonna go back to the pictures of the crime scene and that Buckeye have given to me. Okay, and again, this is the panel that should be here, right? As you guys seen, those panels have the locking mechanism. It's a locking mechanism that you have to actually go to the back of your vehicle, get it out, go back in your vehicle, and unlock it, right? But according to the Buckeye Police Department, this person uh, with a superhuman strength kicked his way out of the sunroof with the brain injury, right? Kicked his way out the sunroof. I also want you to believe a couple things about this scene sitting here on the side. That he also sat in the driver's seat and cranked the vehicle 46 times after the airbag deployment. 46 times. Can you imagine somebody actually being able to sit in the seat, you guys, and crank this vehicle 46 times, sitting in the passenger driver's seat with his seatbelt locked and cranking the vehicle, going through his airbag, pressing the gas pedal and pushing the start button 46 times. And for what reason and why humanistically can you do that when the vehicle's lying on the side? The other thing that one gentleman pointed out to me, Mr. Q is his name. If you guys look at this, is real close here. If somebody kicked their way out the sunroof, let's say this panel was up there at the time, right? Where's the impact marks of a person kicking their way out this so-called sunroof? That's his boots. If that's Daniel's boots, that would have been boot print here, boot print somewhere where he kicked his way out of sunroof. That would have been damage to these hooks and things. They would have been broken off or something to get that panel off, right? Impossible. All right. It's no evidence of that. It don't make sense. Like I told you guys, I look at things from a make sense standpoint. Also, you can see some kind of handprint here or something. I don't know what that is, smear or something going on there. But also, you go back inside the vehicle. I'm just point out one more thing if I can get the picture orientated right, you guys. One thing, Mr. Q, you guys probably know John Q. He had a conversation about some things when it comes to this vehicle. The airbags do knock off dust, right? The airbags knock off dust, and we know that, and we don't see that stuff all over this vehicle. So, a couple of things that that he pointed out when it comes to that. I just want to kind of throw that in real quick, you guys, where there's no impact marks on the sunroof, where the vehicle's on this panel where he supposedly allegedly kicked his way out of the sunroof from the theory of the Buckeye Police Department, and you'll see no damages from somebody kicking the hatch and the latch. This vehicle was open. The hatches was loosened. They started to do it from this point. You guys can see kind of the hatch kind of starting to open right here on the side, but it's not open, right? But it did come from this side here, right? Somebody opened it up in some form of fashion to look at this scene, you guys. The way I look at it, like the rancher would say to me when he told me about the scene, what he saw when he his first one on the scene, him and another gentleman. He said, unless your son is a superhero, he couldn't understand how he can get this panel up under the vehicle, and also his boots. He said it don't look like it, but it's the front part of the boot and the back part is kind of wedged under there as well, right? And what reason? So that type thing, if you guys look at it, from a jet standpoint, and you can understand where I'm coming from on that. Now, a couple more things I want to point out real quick, you guys, because I'm trying to make this video short as possible. I want to go through some details. I also want to look at some of your questions you may have in the comment section and go over those too as well. Let me see here. It's one point I want to make to you guys, and I want to show you something about the damages on this vehicle. Buckeye Police Department tell us, and like my investigator, I'm pointing at him first. He said this vehicle had been crashed somewhere. The damages do not match the terrain. It don't mean to match the fact that it was a rollover. You guys, we're gonna go back into the interior of the vehicle in a minute. I'm trying to make sure if I can get to the front end of the vehicle. Front end of the vehicle damage. This is the biggest part of the impact on the passenger side more so than on the driver's side. Of course, in a front end accident, you're gonna have damage going up to the front. But he did said the reason why this window was open, this side mirror was smashed inward, It's because when at the time of that glass got broken, the door was actually open, right? And that's the reason why you don't see the glass in the vehicle. The door's open and the glass was knocked out from that point. That's his assessment of it. Also, you can see the damage, of course, like I said, the front end, you guys, of this vehicle. Now, I want to show you guys another video of of this whole entire thing. I'm gonna show you another video, you guys, that I want you to watch, and it's gonna tell you something about crashes with the Jeep Renegade. All right, so I'm going to show you one. This is not a Jeep Renegade, it's a Jeep Wrangler, and I want to show you and tell you the reason why I'm showing this first, and then the other two videos will be the actual 2017 Jeep Renegade crash test. So let's see if I can get that going for you too, guys.
You car.
Okay, guys, I want to point out a couple things too. I'm showing you this, you guys, because what it's showing is these are side impacts, right? And the airbags, no other airbag deployed in the whole entire vehicle except for the driver's side, and it's a side impact, so only the airbag deployed, right? The other thing is, you guys, and this is only for the Jeep Wrangler. I just want to show you a point that when a person is sitting in the vehicle got hit on that one side, or it could have got hit on the other side. If the person just sitting on that driver's side, that's the only airbag side that would deploy. And you guys are often know because of safety reasons with vehicles these days. You'll look on your drive, you driving your car, and you kind of look at the dash, and you see something that says airbag off or something or the other, and that's talking about the passenger side of the vehicle. And because nobody's sitting there, right? Nobody's sitting there, and if it's under, I think, like 60 pounds, the airbag will not deploy. And because they made that feature is because of a child. If a child is in that seat, the airbag will not deploy, right? And that's the point. It won't deploy because the airbag can also kill a child. It's too power, or a dog or something. It can kill a child. So that's why they ask you to put the child in the back seat, because this is dangerous for airbag deployment. If it happened to happen with the car seat or whatever, it would crush the baby possibly, right? So again, I just want to kind of point that out, you guys, as I'm doing this video, so you can see the context of why I'm showing this one first. Rollover, and it's going to be a rollover point, and then we're going to talk about that, and then I'll go to the Jeep Renegade. Okay, I think we could stop here, everybody, for the Jeep Wrangler. What I want to point out a couple things too is the fact when we was at this point here you guys, on this impact, you notice when it is a front end impact and not any airbags in this whole entire vehicle deployed. Even after the rollover, guys, that's why they kind of showed you guys as it hit the ground. I think I'm gonna see if I can get it to that point. But it hit the ground and it was I messed up. But anyway, it hit the ground, you guys, and it was let me stop right here because I know it's going to something else. But it hit the ground, you guys, and that's still the only airbag that deployed, even though it landed on the passenger
Subscribe
side.
now to
So
UCAR.
that was the only one that actually deployed, right? And so let me see. I think I messed up here. Can you guys give me a second? I want to make sure I didn't mess up my presentation here. But yes, that's the only one that deployed, despite of the fact that it turned over on the passenger side. And so now I'm going to go to the Jeep Renegade. I want to try to see if I can pull that back up. I think I lost it, you guys. But yeah, I want to go back to the Jeep Renegade if I can. There's the Jeep Wrangler, and then it has also the Jeep Renegade. I think I lost one of them. I think I pushed a button and lost that. But let's see if I can get it back. Let me see here. Okay, well, I just used the one I do have, and I want to point out a couple things, and I'm gonna go back to these pictures as well, so you guys can join in on this one as well. So I'm gonna put it back on the bit screen here, and you guys can watch this one, and I'm gonna point out a couple things on that too. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here one more time, you guys, on this part. And what I wanted to point out is, um, you notice even on the front, and I want to back up too. Jeep Renegades also give you an option that year model, give you an option if you want side. That's not a package that you get when you buy your vehicle. You can get just the standard part is the front airbags, right? Front and passenger side. Those are standard. But you also can pay extra for this vehicle, to have side curtains. And what I'm pointing out is in this impact, right? Nobody sitting on the passenger side. The only curtains that deploy with the front airbags is on the driver's side, whether somebody's in that back seat or not. Nobody's in the front seat or not. Those side airbags from the driver's steering wheel all the way back to the back seat because they all interconnected, right? If a crash comes from the sides, it's going to be the same way. Come from the front, it's going to be the same way. As long as somebody's sitting in that driver's seat, somebody sitting in the passenger seat, if it get hit that way, all of them going to deploy. Every last one of those bags will deploy, right? So that's where we're at on this. Okay, I could tell. I guess I can take a little break right here because we're gonna go to the second part. Again, I'm just showing that with that deployment, that just all on the one side of that vehicle because nobody else is in that vehicle, right? Same model as my son's Jeep Renegade 2017. This is 2015 through 2020 Jeep Renegades. All have the same system, all have the same safety system in it. And I was wanted to point that out, but we're gonna continue on. If you guys can bear with me, and I'm gonna make my point shortly. Again, you notice that they showed two different scenarios. One is when they had a whole entire family there, and like I told you guys, some of the Jeep Renegades have the option. This vehicle don't have the side bed option, but they just wanted to show you the fact that the way that airbag catches a person when they're driving, but there's no airbags in the back, of course, for the back seats. But if you have the option of the side curtains, those would have deployed. The back, you guys seen at the beginning with the driver, the back and the front deployed on just on that one side of the driver. But you notice when they had the person on the passenger side, the front, both those front airbags deployed. If they had a side curtain on that, that would have deployed as well. So that's really easy to understand, you guys. What I'm saying from my point of view is that who was sitting in the vehicle on the passenger side that the Buckeye Police Department is choosing to ignore. We're gonna keep going because I want to show you one more part of this, and I want to say something else about this airbag deployments. Okay, at this point, I think You guys, I think I wasn't even recording. I forgot to take my mute off. I don't know how long I've been doing this, and I've been going on and on and on. So I feel really okay. I apologize, you guys. I see that right now. Yes, I was going on and on about stuff you guys couldn't hear me. I apologize for that. I see that, and it's been going on for a while. So, um, yeah, it's been going on for a good while. So, guys, thanks so much for hanging in there. Those who have hang in there, I see some may dropped off, but thank you guys for hanging in there. I apologize. I didn't look at the mute button, and I was just going on and on and on and on and talking. And I had some good points, you guys. I was pointing out some things. I don't know where I left off with you guys, where it went mute at. But you know, one thing I can say again, everything I showed you tonight, you guys, about this crime scene. Again, it points out to big a lot of questions when it comes to um, okay, I think I was reading some of the comments here. It begs the questions of why law enforcement is refusing to get these answers to what happened. Again, I guess I don't know how far you guys. I went back without you guys hearing me, so I'm going to go back a little bit and talk about some of that stuff really quick. And I'm trying to make a real rough draft of what I was saying. If I can, you guys give me a moment here. Um, let's see here. I think I was talking about you guys when I came back from the video I just showed you guys about the airbags, and what I was telling you is the fact that you know, the vehicle's lying on the side, the vehicle lying on the side, and in that impact video that I showed you guys when the vehicle crashed dummy, and even with that vehicle lying on the side when it crashed and lying on the side and it hit the wall, none of the airbags did deploy except for the driver's side, right? Vehicle lying on the side, just like this Jeep Renegade. The Jeep Renegade you guys seen, that Jeep Wrangler on the side. The airbag only on the driver's side deployed, right? Because nobody was there in the passenger side. So you guys can hear me now, right? I want to make sure you guys can hear me. If you can, give me a thumbs up. I'm looking in the comment section. You guys give me a thumbs up. Make sure you can hear me. And thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that for putting that up there. So yes, once I finish Renegade the vehicle, yeah. So that means that you guys wouldn't hear me for a long time. So I am starting off at the right place. Thank you so much, Esther. Everybody who's giving me the thumbs up, I truly appreciate that. I apologize again for having you guys hold on so long, and I wasn't ready. Okay, there we go. Yeah, again, you guys, what I want to say, yeah, exactly what I was saying. To that point after the video. You guys can see on that video where those airbags deployed just on the driver's side when it turned on the side, and that Wrangler. Also, the Jeep Renegade, Jeep Renegade, when that vehicle had the front impact only the driver's side deployed, even with the curtains, they all kind of work together. If they have the option of having the curtains, some vehicles don't have the option of the side curtains, but when they have the side curtain option, um, depending on where the airbag deploy in that front, the side airbags automatically come out too, whether somebody in the back seat or not. And I showed you all those videos, and I lost one of them from some details I want to show. Every last one of those videos will show you that, like I said, impact, driver's side, somebody sitting there, deployment. Somebody was sitting in the passenger side, deployment. People sitting in the back, they had little kids in the back, that have no effect on the passenger side when it's only the driver's side. So I was showing y'all those different scenarios. That's why I was showing the video. And also, you guys, I wanted to show you as well about the importance of why I'm forcing law enforcement to do those airbags that they haven't touched. You know, could you imagine this being a crime scene for law enforcement? Like I was saying, you guys, I don't know if you heard that part or not. And they did not do the full forensic. They say they tell the family of this law enforcement officer, yeah, we swapped the steel wheel, the shifter, and the door handle. And that's the end of it. No forensics marker, no nothing, no. And they tell the family, put it all in the family, whatever they can find from the officers, and put it in a evidence bag, mark for safekeeping, and give it to their family. You guys know they're not going to do that to their co-worker. If this was a Buckeye Police Department vehicle lying on the side of blue lights and stuff, you guys would have seen forensic marker. You heard about it on CNN. It would have been every law enforcement agency coming down on that place to find out what happened to this officer. He don't just vanish while he on a job as a police officer. My son is no better than law enforcement, and law enforcement no better than my son. We need to have cases treated equally, as I was saying, you guys. We got to have it done equally. because that's the reason why we have missing persons in this country. That we have ones that never been recovered, never been found because of sloppy work, like what Buckeye Police Department have done in my son's case. Damaging work, like the chain of custody that the Buckeye Police Department has done in my son's case. So again, with this, again, you guys, with this airbag deployment, I was trying to show you guys, and I feel really bad because had a good points going on earlier, and I was talking and talking, and realized you guys wasn't even hearing me in the first place. But these airbags have DNA on it, and I was pointing out that in that video, you guys, you probably remember when the person that dummy hit that airbag, it had a blue marking on one side and red on the other side, and that face hit there. They kind of, I guess they want to see impact marks, but at the same time, that's a representation of a human's face. It's gonna pull off that red, that DNA off that person's skin. I need to know who DNA is on this airbag, if it's Daniel's or not. I need to know if there's DNA on this airbag of the person who was in this drive. So we know from the videos you guys see someone's in this passenger side of the vehicle. Why law enforcement is, like I said before, why law enforcement is purposely not wanting to find out, you know what I'm saying? Or they're being lazy or whatever the case would be. We need to find that part out. And that's the reason why I'm telling you guys over and over and over again, I need your support. I need your support. I'm not here just to play around with law enforcement. I'm not here to badger law enforcement. I'm here to get answers about what happened to my son. And that is very important, you guys. It's very important. If I can't get them to do work properly and find out information like it was a law enforcement officer sitting in a vehicle, we'll never get those answers. It'll be the same case scenario that we see in this country that happen every day. Like I said, over 2,300 people go missing every day in this country, over 600,000 to 750,000 every year. And it's because of things like this sloppy work, you guys, telling people to wait 12 hours to whatever. Everything is important when it comes to finding a missing person. Everything is important. So the thing is, you guys, and that's the reason why you guys see me fighting so hard. And I'm asking you guys, please help finddaniel.com and find those ways you can help me, because this is sloppy work from the Buckeye Police Department. And I'm not going to accept that as a father, not for my son. He's my first priority. Of course, I'm fighting for other families as well. But he's my first priority. The other part in this vehicle, you guys, and I was going to talk about and that panel, you guys, I don't know what part y'all didn't hear, and I'm really trying to go over a little bit of things and say little things here and there, because it made me really upset with myself, because I just kept talking and I don't know if you guys hear some of my points. But again, on this point here as well, the Buckeye Department wanted to have you guys believe. They said we saw water damage in the vehicle, right? Really? Where at? I want to see this water damage that they're talking about in the vehicle, because if this I don't know if you guys know anything about. I mean, you guys do. If you guys had any boxes and cardboard or whatever, and if it's raining the way the Buckeye Police Department claiming so much rain got in this vehicle to fill up a rain hard hat in the vehicle, why is this box so intact? Why is the box not damaged? I look at stuff like that. Why is it so intact? And you guys see all this dirt now. I'm tell you the dirt where it come from. In case some people's looking at it right now, say, where does dirt stuff come from? These are the samples. My son have samples, and I found this out from his job. He has samples from wells. All the stuff fell out of these bags. These bags, I guess, when the vehicle turned over, these bags bust open, and you see the dirt there, dirt all up here. This dirt come from these bags. He had a bunch of them in there. When Buckeye Police Department showed me the vehicle the first time, Detective Biff, he opened up that back door, and I was like, what is all these bags on the ground? There's a bunch of them. I mean, he had a lot of them. I just put it that way. And they all over the vehicle. They bust open, and some bust open, and dirt all over the vehicle. That's where the dirt come from, you guys. And it come from rain, and it come from whatever they want to claim. I want to see this so-called damage. The book looks intact. That's dry. No water damage for the books. But somehow they magically put this. I ain't gonna say Buckeye. I'm saying someone magically put this water in this hat. And I pointed out to you guys before about this hard hat with this business card in there, very much intact, not torn to pieces. And I'm going to show you guys a video. This is going to be part of this things to consider as well. I'm going to show y'all videos where I do my due diligence, guys. So don't think I'll do some sloppy investigator. I do investigative work the best way I can, being a novice. I learned, and as I go, I should have my own PI license, because I do things in a different way. But the thing is, I look at this card I had, man, guys, if you ever seen how many cards I had put together just to have a bunch of cards in these bowls. And I even have some I try to wait for rainwater from South Carolina because it rains a lot. And try to see if that fill up, and none of them ever did that. Never fill up a bowl, and we have rain and never fill it up like this. And it's open. I have it out in the open, you guys. There were no trees blocking it, no car inside no vehicle. No, I had nothing blocking it, and they wouldn't fill it up. The other part is I put these cars in different buckets, and because they have different cars. What I found out, because I tried with one card at first, what I found out I had to do multiple different type of cards to see what the results are, because some of these cards have the ink is made out of rubber, some type of rubbery material. Those hold up really good. When I say hold up, the wording. Some is different kind of printing ink on it. It smears quick, and as soon as it hit the water, pretty much start smearing away. But some of them, like this card, possibly have a different kind of ink, and they do stay with the wording. You can read whatever, but all of them, every last one of them, separated. I think I have. I think I lost the Instagram folks. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Okay, if you guys, I lost you on Instagram, can you jump on? If you can jump on the YouTube side of things or the Instagram, it may work for you that way, because I think I lost some of everybody. Let me see here. Okay, I may have it. Okay. All right. I hope I have everybody. Um, but if I lost you on, like I said, on Facebook, you guys, I think I said, please help find Daniel. If you guys had lost it, please come back on the YouTube side of things if you can, or the Instagram. Those two, you can do that. Okay, let's see if I can get it back. Okay, now, like I was saying, you guys, some of those cards actually separated. I mean, all of them separated. All of them separated. And the bottom, the two layers will come apart, or something happened to that card. You best believe it wasn't for 30 days either. So that's what I'm saying. I do not believe this card was there for 30 days. This Buckeye Police Department will have you to want to believe that. I don't believe this water was there for 30 days as well as the Buckeye Police Department wants you to believe. I mean, they want you to believe all kind of crazy stuff that is don't defy logics, don't defy common sense. And I can't. And this is probably a better picture of it, but it's very intact, you guys, not falling apart as if it hadn't been in this water long in a small time frame. All right. Also, let's see if I can go. This hard hat. The only water damage I've seen on the vehicle is when law enforcement decided to remove that hat and put it right here in the back seat. As you guys know, it was in the front seat. They took everything, put it on the back seat, and took pictures of it, I guess. While it's still lying on the side. I don't know if that's part of messing up the integrity of that scene as well. But again, sloppy work to me. Other part is there's no damage, no wetness on this computer. The phone, if there's so much water damage in the car, in the Jeep, this phone actually worked when I got it back from law enforcement. Detective Bill said he put it in his pocket and took off the scene. This is the LAPD bag that you guys heard me tell you the story that I saw in Daniel's vehicle when Detective Biff opened up the back door and I asked him what it is. He shook whatever that stuff, I can't remember what it is. He shook everything out of it and threw it back in the car. Like, I don't know what this is, and shook everything out of it and threw it out. I can't remember what came out of it. But again, this hat, the water level even lower and to see, obviously when they moved the hat, the car had to be shaken around, so it still hadn't separated. And the water waste here from that hat. That's the only water damage you can see when I say water damage, water you see on the vehicle, right? Because when I look at this scene again, I would go back at the floorboard. Go to the floorboard where these little samples is in the front. He claiming that Detective Biff claiming is water damage. You don't see no water collected in this little cup holder. You don't see no water collected down here on the bottom of the vehicle. Nothing where, it was raining and significant. And the rancher said, who lives out there, who had this desert, said it wasn't no significant rain. But Buckeye Police said it is. I look at the weather report, it wasn't no significant rain, but they claiming it was for them, for their purpose. It was raining right there in that one spot where that vehicle was showing up at, and it wasn't. So that's another part of the scenario. And someone was arguing, say, yeah, it was raining the day he went missing. Let's say it was raining the day it was missing. That ain't the day when his vehicle showed up on the side in that ravine. That's the reason why there's no water in that vehicle the way they claim it would be. So that's another thing as well. Other part, you guys, I'm just going roughly over some things at the scene. And again, you guys that haven't seen seen these pictures before, this is the pictures of, the crime scene where Daniel's pants pull inside out. Well, I'm saying allegedly Daniel's pants. And again, you guys, there's no evidence there's even Daniel's clothes. We don't recognize the family. So allegedly, with Buckeye claims they know more about Daniel than we do. They see what he wear every day. They saying it's his clothing without validating it. And that's his clothing according to them, 3 feet away from the vehicle, pulled out. Whoever this clothes belongs to, the pants pulled out in without. People don't take their clothes off like that. The other part is if he had a severe head injury, he wouldn't be putting it like he'd been slinging it all over the place to get out of that clothing. The other part is there's one pair of socks that was found here, and the other pair was found near the near the well site area over there where he allegedly went missing from as well, right? So it's a lot about this crime scene that sticks out. But I'm going to put one more thing, you guys, and I'm have to go. One more thing I want to talk to you guys about. I want to show you, and it's got something to do with the airbags too. Again, I kind of missed over that, and I think that one video kind of threw me off. So I'm going to put this on the screen, and I want to talk about the airbag deployment one more time. Okay, this is part of the. I can't give you guys the whole thing. Like I said, I have an investigation still. I'm having experts from Jeep to look at this and put it in layman's term for me. But this is actually a 32-page report, the CDR report, crash data, right, from Daniel's Jeep, what happened that day, right? And of course, the front airbag deployment, that was the first stage, you guys, that did happen. We all see the second stage as well. I think that's when the airbag kind of do a quick boost of pressure, I guess the air or whatever goes through that bag. That went through. Also, the front airbag deployment as well as the time to first stage deployment for the driver was 47. The second stage deployment for the driver is 52. And I think from me not being an expert, you guys, I'm only coming to an assumption that has something to do with the way the airbags come out, with the force that come out, and when they push out, it's like a twice situation. Also, the front airbag deployment, it did deploy. Front of air deployment, two-stage passenger, you guys. Yes, it deployed. Yes, it deployed. Yes, it deployed. Now, I did notice one thing about this. Also, tell you that pressure, whatever that is, too. Those two match together, right? Both of those front airbags, the passenger side and the driver's side. Other part is the knee airbag deployment on the driver's side. That deployed. The anchor petitioner on the driver's side, and I'm thinking, you guys, I don't know if that's the seatbelt is what I'm looking at when it says that, because I also have the retractor, right? And I think that those two have something to do with the seatbelts, because when I look at it on the passenger side, it's showing that no. So I'm saying I believe that's what it's saying, is that the passenger side somebody didn't have a seatbelt on or something, I guess, right? The side airbag, seat airbag deployment, yes. And also the curtains deployed, yes. The seat airbag deployment on the right, yes, and on the right, both on curtains on that right too, yes. So what I'm saying is, guys, this is a report to kind of show you that all of those airbags actually deployed, all of them. Also, you have some more information. I was looking at the front of airbag warning lamp. As you guys see, I had that highlighted. It was off, right? And so I'm trying to see if the front of airbag warning lamp, I don't know if that's something with the damage of the airbag to say, hey, the airbag won't deploy. I'm still trying to look into this. So like I said, you can see some of this information here, you guys, the odometer, etc. this report goes really far. So those who want to pause that and look at it, I'm definitely going to have someone on a more professional to look at it again, because I want to get it, like I said, in a more layman's term, so I can understand it a little further. But I do know what I can get from that part, as well as I have a report from the infotainment system, the phone calls that went in. That I'm going to point those things out, what Buckeye have in a report versus what the attachment of that system picked up. I know there's a lot of things going on in the public. Everybody think they know, and I see a lot of stuff on Reddit and everything else. But I look at it in a way to see what information was given out to the public from Buckeye Police Department and what wasn't, because those certain things, detail wise, did not come from the source didn't come from me or anybody I know. And so kind of narrow those things down where some of these misinformation come from and things like that. So but there's a lot of reports. There's this report here, the CDR report, and there's also the infotainment system report. That's like 800 some page. And I will be kind of sharing those things with you guys too. In this, again, things to consider in my son's case. Again, you guys, I need your help. Please, by all means, share Daniel's story. But if you guys can pass out these flyers, please help finddaniel.com. You got ways you could share the flyers. You can print them out and or excuse me, through the website, please help finddaniel.com. There's a PDF button for the flyers. If you guys print them out, that's a form of donation. I really appreciate that. Or you can request them from me. Please help finddaniel at yahoo.com. You see it at the top of the page there. And you'll get those flyers. They come in a box just like this. And I'll have those sent out to you as well. And also the mail-in protest, you guys. That's important for what I just showed you tonight, to put more pressure and force and keep that pressure on law enforcement, because I'm doing everything I can to make them do the right thing. In this case, you guys, this case is the first case that I can have something. I'm doing some other things, you guys, I'm working on right now. You guys will hear about that pretty soon. But in this case, is going to be the example of what the problem is in this country and the way we need to address it. So I need you guys' help. I need your support, especially when I have these information I'm gonna put out there. I need your support again with that as well. So thank you so much, everybody. I see some comments I want to throw in as well to make sure before I leave. Thank you, T and Wildflower, for being here. I really appreciate you. And thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Katrina. No, they did not. Thanks so much. A question too. Did they process the clothing? No, they have not. They haven't processed anything on that vehicle. Anything, like zero. When I said they didn't process anything, they only thing they can brag to you guys about it, try to make them look like they did some work. Yeah, we swapped the steering wheel and we started to know why they did that. It was not doing that, you guys. In that meeting on the 22nd of July, I asked and I was demanding. It wasn't no asking. I was demanding the chief all. I was mad, you guys, in that meeting. I had Larnell with me from the NAACP just to observe. I recorded that meeting as well, and I demanded to have forensics done on that vehicle. Some form. I didn't know what to ask for. I'm not an expert. I'm a father looking for my son. I said I need some fingerprinting to make sure it was Daniel vehicle, after the smart remark from the detective, Sergeant Hanneman, whatever his name is, when I asked the question, like, how you know my son was even driving the vehicle? And he said, well, it's his vehicle, so he was driving it. Like, I mean, who would say that in the law firm? That let me know how dumb that department really is, or how facetious they are. I think it's facetious to say something like that to a family, like I don't have the comment, or they think I'm not intelligent or something. So that's his attitude to even say that, to even suggest that. And so, of course, I got angry, and I said I demanded them to do some forensic work on my son. I need them to at least do something. Basically, that's what I was feeling, and do some fingerprinting. And they turned out to hold it for a couple more days for me, because they already released it to me. Hold it for a couple more days until they did that swabbing, whatever, of that, what I asked them to do. And they haven't processed it to this day. So the question is, did they ever process anything? No. They called me back almost a year and a half later. Detective Biffin called me, and then at the same time tried to put in the public like I'm refusing stuff, lying. Asking me for a razor. Who would do that? If you process the thing, you're serious about finding answers. Why you didn't ask for a razor when my son's apartment was there, right? He knew that he was there. He even went in Dane's apartment when we got on 3A call, and we talked to the landlords to have, give them the access to the apartment. The landlord's court made an agreement with law enforcement. Finally told us we couldn't go as a family, but they can come in, they can touch nothing, but they had to be escorted by their own maintenance management team. And they took pictures, so they was there. So if you was really wanting to do work without, I'm only reason they only did this, you guys, asked the process, asked to swab the vehicle, because I asked them to, and only like he asked for that razor to try to make themselves look good, like they were trying to do some work. You don't wait a year or so later to ask for a razor, right? That's because of the pressure, you guys. Like I was saying, everything you hear that Buckeyes put on their report that they did, it came from you guys. It came from me asking you guys, and you guys been calling, you guys been writing, you guys been doing it. The news crew been coming down. Everybody put a bit spotlight. It's like roaches. You put light on them, they just start scattering all over the place, right? And that's what the Buckeye Police have been doing. And they called me over a year and a half later and gonna ask me a dumb question, because he said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna see if we can get this swabbing that we did on that vehicle taken care of it by DPS." This is Detective Biffin, you guys. Get it done by DPS to process it. Do you happen to have a razor of Daniel? Like, I'm gonna carry his razor around for me for a year and a half. Have somebody raise so we can get some DNA, his DNA, and match it up to what we swabbed off the stuff. I'm like, they sound ridiculous, sound crazy. And then go in their report to make it sound like I'm holding information, or trying to. I've been out here fighting you guys for my son. How in the world you think you guys think I would be out there trying to stop help, right? Everything that Buckeye have, I gave it to them. And when they got it, something they don't like, you guys, that's why they hired the investigator to rebut it. They tried to rebut my investigator who found a crime scene there, who found a vehicle process being staged, a stage event. They rebutted it hard as they could. They hired somebody, held on the information we gave them for over a month, and then they hired their own to say exactly what they wanted to say before they even did any kind of investigation. It was there for 30 days. I don't know why they, from day one, they was telling me it was there for 30 days when that vehicle showed up. But they really wanted there for 30 days. All right. And also, Esther Taylor, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. The pocket pole barriers at the gas station are red. I feel the paint came from those red tracks. I'm going to show you something too, Esther. You guys, against also what Buckeye Police Department gave to you guys. Now, mind you, and I'm going to give you the backstory of that too, you guys, and the reason why. I did some research on that as well. Re-pull up Daniel's bank statements and things like that. There's nothing on Daniel's bank statement that said that transaction happened on that day. So I'm telling you guys this for a reason, because we was in an interrogation room, my daughter and I held up this is that cell phone right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's my other cell phone. But I had pulled up my cell phone and to show them, because of course my son have a USA account. He also have another account I'm not gonna mention. But the USA account is where this transaction allegedly came from. And when I was there in interrogation room, I have never been in interrogation room in my life. That's something that Buckeye put us in, me and my daughter. I didn't realize it. That's why I didn't recognize it at first. And the only time I see interrogation rooms, of course, from you see what you see on TV. I'm not a criminal, so I've never been in one. But they brought us through the back door like they do the criminals, I guess, and put us in interrogation room and had us sitting in there for a long time. But I call USAA because my son, I'm a sponsor. I'm a military guy. It's a military bank. You got to be a military member, have family members, military to even be a part of this bank. So of course my children will have access to this bank. So because of that, I was a sponsor, which I wasn't now because he was over age, but still they gave me some leeway, being that I'm the sponsor for my children, to get certain information from his bank statements at certain limited stuff, right, at the time. And so what I showed them was based on the cell phone, and they took that and ran with it. And that's the reason why I'm saying when law enforcement do sloppy work, what I'm going to show you guys about that whole thing about this bank statement stuff, they claim, even though we as a family made a mistake, because we in pain, we were shocked. This is the early point when that happened. So we could have looked at that bank statement wrong too, right? But I'm going to show you guys something that I found about this bank statement that the Buckeye Police Department, it tells you two things about that. They're unprofessional, and then they go look for themselves, right? And I'm telling you the reason why, you guys will see that when I show it to you. But anyway, yeah, that red vehicle where you said red paint there. I didn't see that in the place that the Buckeye Police Department claiming. It's opposite of what eyewitnesses did. You guys, I will show you guys also in this things considered eyewitness who have an eyewitness of a timeline where they seen Daniel's vehicle out on Sun Valley Parkway near a different, most likely gas station where Daniel actually was supposedly quote be at with that transaction, which again, I'm telling you guys, I don't think it was anything like that at all based on his bank statement. And but the area is close to the only gas station close to that area where Daniel was seen at a specific time was near this area north of where he ended up going missing. So well, allegedly went missing. And so I'm breaking all that down to you guys because it's about time where I've been trying for over 2 years not to. Y'all think I was embarrassing law enforcement? No, I wasn't embarrassing them. I'm trying to get answers, but I have to do it in a way that I'm gonna have to start releasing the things I do know about my son's case in a methodical way. But at the same time, will embarrass law enforcement. It will show you their slack of word. It will show the lies as well that they have in their report, and it would show you all of the stuff, and then they're gonna come out and say, "See, I told you he was holding back information." And like I told Chief Hall one time ago, a long time ago. First of all, I don't work for Buckeye Police Department. I'm not employed by them. I'm the family. I'm the victim according to Arizona law, and I want to say it in the colorful way, but I don't care about what they think. So that's the kind of thing that you guys will be seeing. So if you guys can stick in with me, this is only part 2 of things to consider. I'm planning to do a whole lot more. Just release a little bit things here and there, and give you guys, like I said before, my perspective of what I've seen on the ground and what actually happened on the ground. Like I told you guys, I keep receipts. I remember Detective Hanneman when he had us in that interrogation room, his face turned red when I told him. I said, I record everything. He said, he jumped off the seat, "You record everything?" And his face turned red, and he walked out for a second and came back. He probably thought, say, "Oh man, we didn't check them to see they're recording something." Yeah, I was recording him when he told me and my daughter to break into Daniel's apartment. Just don't get caught. You know, that's what kind of law enforcement you're dealing with when you deal with the Buckeye Police Department, you guys. So I'm saying, telling my daughter, my young daughter, to break into a place, me and my daughter, to break into my son's apartment. Just don't get caught. I don't know if that's a thing he think about black people. We just breaking stuff or something. I don't know what the case may be. But the whole point is, when he said that, I was shocked to hear that from a law enforcement officer telling you to break into a place, to get access to Dane's apartment. But anyway, let's see who else I got here. Long gone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Also, thank you, Tracy again. Laura, thank you so much for being here. You guys, I had to jump off on it because I know I lost Facebook, and I'm sure I'm going to lose Twitter, Instagram if I haven't already. I think they only allowed us an hour, I think, or something like that. And let's see who else. This right here. Who has these clothing now? I have those clothing since the 22nd of July of 2021. A few days after that vehicle showed up, like I told you guys, Detective Biffin threatened me. He literally threatened. That's what I felt. I got threatened that if I did not get that vehicle out of the facility, they would have a tollway, and I had to pay storage fees. And I had to beg a grown man after I'm seeing my son. At the same time, I'm seeing my son vehicle in the way it was. I was devastated. My mind was gone. I didn't care about that vehicle. I didn't. I'm smiling guy because I was gonna say some colorful words, but I didn't care about that vehicle. I just wanted to see. I was devastated. The only thing is, if you guys seen that for the first time, this vehicle sitting in a compound, the only thing you can have in your head is something negative. Something happened to my son. I've seen all kind of visions in my head of something bad happened to him. Make a long story. I needed to get out of there, and before I can get out, I said, "Hey man, I need to get out of here. I can't take it no more." Basically. Where he stopped. "Well, you got to get it out and get this vehicle out here. If you don't get out here today, we're gonna have a toll. You're gonna have to pay storage fees." I'm like, "What?" So I had to beg a grown man to hold it for 3 days. I even called back to email asking him to put a tarp on the vehicle. They said it's gonna rain just in case, somebody, whoever his creditors is. I mean, I don't know. I just asked some things, and I know God protected me at that time. And lo and behold, on 22nd, after 19 on 22nd, I was so happened to have secured this meeting that I've been working on before the vehicle showed up on the 22nd. And that's when Detective Biffin, after that meeting, after all that drama I told you about, making them do friends, all that stuff, He said, asked me where I parked at. I told him where I was parked there. He came out. He told me. I told him he came out with his pickup truck, came to the back of my vehicle, and gave me everything, the clothing and all that, and evidence bags. And I didn't know what to do with it. He put it in my trunk, shut the trunk, took it back to my hotel room. I didn't like what I heard from them. I was pissed, and that's when I got Mr. McGrath, and he came up to my hotel room, and I rolled that stuff on a little hotel cart to him. He took it. Before he could take it, he stopped. He looked at that tag and he told me what it meant. And he said it was for safekeeping. And when law enforcement world, there's 3 check marks. He had 3 check marks on there. That one, and 2 of them, one was safekeeping and one was evidence. It wasn't, the evidence wasn't checked. It was safekeeping, and he told me what safekeeping means. He says it means that they holding your person's things until they come back for it themselves, or they give it to the family, right? And that's what they did. Despite of a head injury that Detective Biffin believed, they felt that Daniel walking naked in the desert, where he told me probably got eaten by a wild animal or whatever the case they said, if he didn't. But after all of that, they rolling to it, he's swinging his hand, he felt that Daniel's going to come back and get his things. Here's his stuff. Go back to South Carolina. There's nothing else to see here, basically. We got this. We'll go look for them, whatever case may be they're doing. But I didn't go nowhere. But yes, they gave that stuff to me, and I had that stuff ever since. They also gave me the vehicle, and don't get that confused. And the only reason why you guys can read in that report that Buckeye claiming to gave that vehicle to Mr. McGrath is because they're holding it for me, and you can read in the report as well, because that was accurate. I asked for a tarp to put over it because I thought it was going to rain. And I was going to come back and try to find a way to go pick this vehicle back up. But I got Mr. McGrath, and I sent them up there to get the vehicle. They already turned it over to me, get it out of their compound, take it to where he suggested where it needed to go, and just for storage and take care of it so he can do his investigation. And I had to pay for that. But then I got a phone call once he got up there. Of course, I think it was a Lieutenant Angel or somebody had to meet him at this facility. Once they had a conversation, I guess cops to cops, he's a retired or cop himself, and they had a conversation about what he planned to do to get information of what happened on this crime scene. He said he's gonna pull the infotainment system out, and once they heard that, they just went haywire. The Buckeye, I don't know why they went crazy. They went to go talk to whoever, and they had to tell him, well, now we ain't gonna release it. Now we ain't gonna release it, and they called me from my hotel room and had me drive 40-something miles away to come sign a piece of paper so Mr. McGrath could pull it on out of there, right? So that's where all that came from, you guys. So that's what I'm saying. When I go through the report, they're going to be part of the report when I put things in context against what the Buckeye Police have written. And then I'm going to show you how this also how the report is so colorized and so sensationalized to discredit me as a father who's been there for a long time, fighting for my son, fighting for his integrity, fighting for this case, and how they personally attacked me and try to do me some harm, and as well as how they sensationalizing Daniel's case to make him out of a person other than what he is, a brilliant scientist that he is, and a brilliant young man. That's not perfect by no stretch, and I'm going to keep saying that because he's not. But he's a great young man with a great heart, trying to do things. Don't have so much to speak. He's not a criminal. He did everything right in life, and he earned what he got in life. And I'm not going to let some department with these guys, a bunch of white men too at that, try to destroy his credibility. It's not going to happen, not on my watch. So the thing is, you guys, thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate your time. I wish I could go to everybody. I know you guys have a lot of questions. I've seen some when I was somehow muted, and I was going down the comment section. I seen the question. I'm like, man, I want to answer these questions. And so if you guys come on the next time, I promise. Oh, I see a super chat here. Thank you so much, Long Gone. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I apologize for the no sound. But if you guys come back for these questions, I will have these. As a matter of fact, I may make a special live, maybe tomorrow night around the same time, where you guys, if you want to ask some of these questions that you've seen tonight, and and I would love to answer those too. I really appreciate it. So, all right. So again, you guys, I see there's no sound. That really made me feel a certain way, you guys, and I'm thank you so much for hanging in there when there wasn't no sound and you stayed up anyway. So thanks so much. God bless you guys, and I'll see you on next time. Please don't forget, you guys. Please, like I said, please help find Daniel. All the ways to help. There's a petition you guys can please sign, put your voice to. There's a donation tab. I do need help, you guys, when I want to continue my fight with my son. I want to get back in Arizona and do some really fighting. I have another, like I said, something I'm working on right now. I want to release to the public eventually, and I need you guys' support on that. But that's something separate. You guys will hear about that soon. But also, I need you guys, if you can, print those flyers out if you can, because I know it costs. Like I said, I know how much it costs with me to print. But if you guys can, that's another form of donation. You can't do it the other way. You can do it that way if that's possible. I appreciate that. And get those flyers out because they really need to get out there, guys. I need to find out what happened to my son. I need to find the persons who may know something and they live somewhere else. I need to have, if Daniel's out there somewhere, somebody identify him with these flyers. So please, by all stress, please print those flyers out if you can. Also, you guys print out the flyer, the picket signs for the mail-in protest and send them out to these departments. You see it on policehelpfinddaniel.com front page. Which department send out to? The department's head name, I think it was Skinner, and I can't think the other one for Buckeyes, but Buckeye and also Maricopa County send those picket signs out. Very important, guys. I need thousands of them going out there every week, and I need them to be flooded with that. That'll help out tremendously. And if you guys, another last thing, if you guys need me to send flyers to you, please help find Daniel at yahoo.com where you can request those. I truly really appreciate it because I can send those out to you. Once you send me your information, I can get those flyers out to you. So thanks so much, you guys, again. God bless you. And, take care of yourself. Hold those who you love very close and don't let them go. Hold them tight. Tell them tight. Life, and I'm not going to say it in a bad way, you guys. Life can't turn on a dime. It happened to me and my family. So I'll try to say that to people regardless. Please, thank you so much, Claire. Please, by all means, please hold your loved ones tight. And, definitely, thank you, Melissa, you too. Definitely don't forget, man. Just tell people you love them while you have them. While you have them, always tell them you love them. Because last time I was able to tell my son I love him was 2 days before he went missing. Last time. I'll give anything to be able to tell him that in his face again, how much I love him, because I do. You guys, I hope you can see that in the evidence of my efforts to find him. I really miss my son. I miss all the great things about him. Even the aggravating things, I kind of laugh and joke about some of that as well with friends. Like, you know what? Sometimes your children can be aggravating. At times they can do some things, and you try to get them straight, and they do something. You think, man, I look for those moments too. I want him to aggravate me at times, So it's a good, and the whole family dynamics, everything about Daniel. I miss him, his hearing his dreams, aspirations, and also as a father, try to help him achieve the goals that he's seeking. So, of course, like I said again, you guys, take care of yourself. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend if I don't get back, but I'm trying to see if I can do something tomorrow night, get these questions, because I really want to answer those. Take care of yourself. Be blessed and have a good night. Talk to you next time.